Victoria Malfoy, my guest for the evening. You know exactly where you can find her at Snaky Smut. Links to all of her social media are in the episode description, but I want to send you over to her Patreon, patreon.com/snakysmut. What you're going to find there is audio content, and we're going to dive into that today. Please make sure you support the content creators who come on the show. Otherwise, they don't come on the show anymore. Victoria, it's a pleasure to have you on tonight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
So I normally start with the question everyone starts with, but I want to do it a little differently because I have a different one to start with to begin with.
Okay.
How do you define your job title?
I define my job title as I wear many hats. I do lots of different things, but I kind of keep myself under the umbrella of adult entertainer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Adult entertainer and then adult content creator maybe also.
Yep. Also that too. Yes.
So now let's go to my actual number one question here. How did you initially decide to get into the adult entertainment industry? What was the last hurdle you went over and went, fuck it, new job?
So it's a really, it's kind of an interesting story. I've been in the adult entertainment industry off and on for like almost 15 years. My initial start in it was around 2011. I had just moved from my home state and I had moved to a new place. I was perfectly happy to start my vanilla job that I had all lined up. And then circumstances happened and I needed money like quick. So the first thing in my head was, I thought strip clubs always have like amateur night, but that is not a thing that happens very often. I have learned. So one of my friends hooked me up with a interview at Cheetah's, and that pretty much kicked everything off. I've always been a very sexual person. It's never bothered me. So I kind of took to it like a fish to water, and that was my jumping off point. And then I've been off and on, and then I would say probably, luckily, a few months before COVID started, I was introduced to the wonderful world of audio, erotica, and I dove into that, and that's been kind of the catalyst for everything ever since. Have never had a vanilla job since then, and I'm happy about it. It's great. I'm really blessed that I get to do this all the time because it's super creative. But yeah, that's basically how it started, stopped, restarted again, and then I through doing audio, I moved into doing visual because I had always done that previously, even before OnlyFans was around. So adding that, and then the past, I guess since May, I have done more of the IRL stuff with other partners. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now.
So you said 2011 is when you started on this?
Yeah.
Let me say, if people are just listening to this and not watching the video, I literally crunched the numbers in my head and I went, was she 10 years old? How does this work? You look phenomenal. Whatever age you are, I will not ask. You look amazing.
Thank you so much. I don't tell my exact age. I'm in my 30s, but thank you. I really appreciate that. No,
you're phenomenal. And there's so much to dive into. So I reached out and I was talking to one of the PR people. They recommended you. And I'll be honest, I was ready to wrap for my season. My wife and I always take a vacation at Halloween. I think you'll like this maybe. Are you a Halloween person?
I am. I'm a spooky person. You can't see it. I have horror stuff all behind me.
Where do we go for Halloween? You tell me.
I would think Salem.
Salem, Massachusetts every year.
Boom.
It's great. And then I look through, I go, okay, she's hot, but like I've, talked to a lot of hot girls, let's see. And I go, what the hell does she do? This is awesome. She does some really incredible stuff. What is your whole audio? You say like, what did you say in there? You said something where you were like, I was introduced to the world of audio, literature, erotica type stuff.
Yeah.
And I went like this. Okay, I was introduced to it about 38 minutes ago. So, that's interesting. Can you tell me what it is? Like, I get the concept of it, but
yeah, it's really exciting. I love talking about it because it's just now becoming more, I'd say, mainstream. Like people kind of know what it is. I had no idea what it was. So the way I describe it to people is it is like a radio plays from back back in the day, but they're spicy. So basically, it is a one-sided audio role play. So, for example, it's me talking, and it's the listener can self-insert themselves. So a lot of people find it easier to consume because there isn't anything visual. They can picture whoever they want. Obviously, I'm face out. People know what I look like. They can picture whoever they want. They can look however they want, be whoever they want, and it's a fun outlet for that. So yeah, I think a radio play is the best way to describe it. We do collabs sometimes, so it'll be 2 voices, 3, 4, and then just the listener does not speak. But yeah, that's the best way to describe it. I had never heard about it. When I heard about it, I was like, wow, that's really cool.
I had on Cubby Thompson, and yes. I asked her the question, one of the most beautiful people in the world. I asked her the question, the calendars on her website, does she order them in advance, or do you place an order when you know how many purchases? I've had on Lana Violet, amazing porn star, dominatrix. My question to her was, do you need insurance when shooting scenes like that? So my question to you, and I legitimately think this is a good question, and everyone listening goes, oh, this guy's an actual idiot. Do you do Foley work as well during your thing?
So I have my Foley for the most part pre-recorded.
Sure.
The Foley that I do live in every audio are BJ sounds, cunnilingus sounds, anything kind of like that I do as I'm recording. Other things I will record previously and we edit them in after. But yeah, I do a lot of my own Foley work. A lot of people do. A lot of people make all of their sound effects kind of like I do beforehand, and they have techniques for it. There's a whole array of tutorials that I've been given. It's crazy. Yeah, it's very in depth.
It's so cool. And I'm not just like if it was, only kind of cool, I'd be like, oh, that's great for you. No, I'm actually excited to learn about this. I got a new Patreon to go sign up for. It's good. Okay. When did you... Oh, so you were introduced to it, but when you first were introduced to it, were you like, I don't know, don't people want to see picture? Did you have any reservations about it, or did you just think, great idea right away?
So I had some reservations. I thought it was a great idea because there are people that I love listening to people with accents, for example, or I can tell when someone has a really nice voice, and I immediately will be like, ooh, yeah, that's nice. So I understood the concept, but initially I had really no interest in recording. I just kind of wanted to write because I found erotica online for the first time through fan fiction. So I'm a big fanfic person. I always wrote that. So I thought I can write scripts for this. This will be fun. And then someone suggested, they were like, no, really, you should record. You should try it. Trust me. And once I did, I was like, oh, I really like this. I have an acting kink, so I love acting. That totally meets it. I also, many, many years ago, people have always told me that my voice sounded like a phone sex operator. Okay. So I feel like I'm kind of fulfilling the prophecy for that. But yeah, I definitely did not think that I would enjoy it as much as I did, or that it would be as creatively fulfilling for me as it has been, but it totally is. And it's really nice. I love doing visual stuff and always will. But it is really nice sometimes just to wake up and be like, I think I'm going to be a pirate today, so I'm going to go record this, and I don't have to do anything to do that.
Let me ask, do you know at all your demographics on Patreon? Only because anytime I've interviewed a female performer who's really into written literature, erotica type stuff, I'm like, oh, so do you know guys who are into that? And most of them are like, no, not really. Or they tell me I do a lesbian video for me. And I'm like, oh, that's so great. Is that? And they go, it's the worst seller. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well, guys are kind of typical. But are you finding you're also bringing women to things like your Patreon? Is it mostly men? Do you have any idea?
It's mostly men. I have a smaller demographic of women or non-binary or trans that listen to me. So I do make that content. I really should, and I say this all the time, I should make more of it. But my audience, again, is mostly men that I have found. So yeah, I would love to have more because it's fun for me. I'm bisexual, so I like making audios for women and non-binary and trans. I don't. I love it all. I've done lots of audios like that, but definitely my main focus is usually male. Definitely.
Sure. I say that because I think, I mean, I have such low opinion of men, and that's my own thing because I have such a low opinion of myself that I think, like, you know, most guys would probably be like, oh, I need a visual, I need something, da da da.
You would think.
You have such good quality content. You're drawing them in, and they can see you too. They know they can go find stuff with your face on it, your picture, and yet they still want to hear not just your voice, but what you're writing. Your, you know, ooh, is she going to do this in the story? Oh, she did.
Yeah, it is. It's really different because I myself, I would honestly think that men would prefer to have something visual, but I have found a lot of people, not that they care, but I've had some people be like, I don't look at the places that you have like your face because I don't want to put a face to it, which is fine. I totally get it. That's totally fine. But yeah, it's really interesting. I definitely, when I first started doing this, thought like, this has got to like cap at some point. Like people have to like get tired of this at some point, right? I hope they don't. It's fun, but no, people are really into it. And I have had some listeners who have been on my Patreon or like in my Discord that have been there for like years since like I started. And it is something they really, really enjoy. And I think the main part is like, there's nothing either to compare yourself to or that you have to like visualize, or maybe you don't really like this thing, but you have to look at it to enjoy it. It can literally be whatever.
Would you mind? I want to go over one of your tweets and maybe we could delve into that deeper. Okay.
Yeah, totally.
September 1st. Okay. Let's chat. I completely understand that some people have found me recently, but I have been face out and doing in real life content for 5 years. If you can't handle the duality of me or my character / brand, no harm, no foul. I wish you the best. So first off, sweet message.
Thank you.
I wouldn't think, I wouldn't think, like if I was only into you audio wise and then I saw you and I'm like, oh my God. Because when I hear phone sex operator, I think Snickers wrappers and skin tags personally on a gorgeous voice. That's just my impression because I know if I had a good voice, I would be trying to fool people. But you put the visual to it, I would think it would enhance it. But it seems like you do have some people who are like, no.
It's mostly, and I will be honest, and this is no offense to the YouTube crowd, but it is mostly people from YouTube who have found me through my completely safe for work stuff. The people that find me through not safe for work stuff are very accepting. They don't care. It's whatever. It's really the people that find me just for my like holy, like safe for work, like audio role plays that have a real issue with it. And I don't really know why, but yeah, it's become a thing. Or I'll have people come over to my YouTube and like, oh, have you seen her on Orange YouTube? Like, it's not a secret. I'm not hiding it.
Oh, you think? You think those guys are trying to like throw you under the bus? Like, hey, by the way, do you guys know she does this?
Yeah, it's a very puritanical thing. I've also had a VTube model made to do that kind of like content in future. And I know that there is a thing in that whole genre of people that they don't want to know what the person behind that looks like. So I think that I have through doing safer work stuff, attracted people that are kind of in that mindset, which is totally fine. But yeah, it was getting to a certain point where I was like, okay, I'm going to bring this up because it's actually starting to bother me.
You sound like a person who does know what you're doing online, though. Like you threw out a few different things in there that I went, I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, keep smiling at her. Do you have to stay engaged online, understand what new things are coming out, understand which social media is the hot one right now? Do you have to stay on top of that stuff?
I think so. I think that this is a job where you really do have to like keep up with stuff to a certain degree. Now I know, and like people that I know that we try and like say, okay, I have this much time online and then I will give myself a break. And that's really what I do. Because I feel like if you're on all the time, it is detrimental to your mental health. But yeah, I kind of came to terms with it a couple of years ago that because of the nature of this job, you just have to be online. I know that people would say like, oh, they're chronically online. We kind of have to be.
Sure.
Because you have to keep up with trends or new social media, or this platform isn't allowing this anymore. So, okay, we have to go remove it now. So, yeah, it's a lot to keep up with.
I always ask this question, and I don't think it'll apply to you, but I go, I normally ask, like, did you realize that shooting porn was going to take up 5% of your day and the rest was social media editing? But it sounds like you may have had that. You might have known that coming into this.
I had a little bit of an inkling, and yeah, it was kind of from doing the audio stuff. Like, yeah, so this audio took me 20 minutes to record, for example, but it's going to take 4 hours to edit it. Yeah. So I kind of had an idea going in. But when I first started doing all of this, like online, because everything I had done up until that was in person, dancing is obviously in person. So I had no idea. I thought it would be a lot quicker and you could just kind of like afterwards, like, go about your day. But no, you have to, if you want it to become a business over a hobby, you do really have to like lock in.
Sure. Do you think you could be as successful as you are now if for some reason you wanted to take a step back from the in real life stuff? Do you think you could dedicate your time to your other stuff and then eventually build that and make it, to fill in the other that you get from the IRL stuff?
Oh yeah. If I had never done like OnlyFans and had just stayed audio, I had made it a thing to like grind how I used to post like free audios like 3 times a week when I first started. So yeah, I know that if I really was like, you know what, I'm kind of sick of doing this, I'm just going to go back to doing only audio, I'm sure that I could 100%. I'm one of those people, though. I really do like being face out and doing that. So I'll definitely do it as long as I can, really. But yeah, I have thought about that before because there have been thoughts of like, what if I get sick or like whatever? I do have like a plethora of audios that I could at least like supplement.
There you go. Now, I'm just a miserable old white guy, so I don't know what's going on in culture. Can you explain to me and my audience, which I assume they're probably just like middle-aged guys as well. And good for you. We like having you here. Remember, at Snaky Smut on Patreon and on OF. Head over there, sign up. Bare minimum social media. You have to at least follow these folks on social media. Links to everything are in the episode description. That's free. That costs you nothing.
Yeah.
Boost their numbers for them. Help them out. Payday rolls around. Head over to the OF. Head over to the patreon.com/Snaky Smut. So, apologies. Wanted to get that in there.
No, go. Thank you.
Let me ask this. How would you classify... Oh, let me finish my question. ASMR. Oh, yeah. I don't know anything about ASMR. I hear it sounds that people make and then you feel tingly. And mostly that for me is dirty talk. So I don't know what ASMR is. I feel tingly when girls talk dirty to me. Can you explain to me and my audience what ASMR is and how it is applied in the adult entertainment industry, or how you apply that?
Sure. So ASMR, how you just described it, is exactly what it is. When it comes to the role plays like we're doing on YouTube, sometimes it is ASMR, but that is very whispery. You're doing like crinkly noises. It's binaural, so using like the 3DO microphone, going from ear to ear, that kind of thing. That is traditionally ASMR, and there are lots of role plays like that. But how we use the tag ASMR isn't really ASMR for the most part. It's just, I don't know how that started or if it started the other way and kind of morphed into whatever. But now people who enjoy that just kind of take it as it's an audio role play. Gotcha. That's what it is. So yeah, and that's how it is on other sites like the Hub, everywhere. Because at first I was a little confused. I was like, this isn't ASMR, but it is. It's just that's what they've called it.
Gotcha. So they've labeled it, they categorized it that way. So,
right.
Well, regular ASMR though, have you ever watched it and do you experience the feeling it gives? I've tried, but I've been like,
it has to be specific people. Really? Definitely. Yeah, I don't get it from everything. It's very, it's specific videos that I have found. I have a couple of friends who will do ASMR like live on Twitch, and that'll get me. It's more so like the crinkly noises. The whispering doesn't really do it for me. But yeah, I have experienced it. I definitely have. I've done it in a couple of audios and listened back and been like, ooh, I feel the tingles. But yeah.
what is your least favorite sound?
Ooh, least favorite sound. Oh, other people chewing. Oh, I can't stand
fucking
it.
die. Don't die. But like, that makes me really angry. Not even just chewing though, too. Like, I have to have music or a TV on with my wife when we're eating, only because, and she's not a mouth open eater or any of that.
Right.
Just
It's just the noises, right?
it's
Yeah,
gross.
no, I'm
It's
with you.
grinding, it's masticating, or whatever the term is. It's gross.
I agree.
Doing
Totally.
it. All right, let's talk about, okay. See, again, guys, you have to check out the links in the episode description. She has so much. I'm trying to get into section 2 here about the content, and I go, where the fuck do I even start with this? All
I
right,
know there's so much.
we've talked about the audio. Let's talk about the erotic literature real quick.
Yeah.
What type? I mean, are you just writing stories? I also used to like writing too, and then I found out it's a lot easier to talk into a microphone, which you do as
Right.
well. I mean, my
Yeah.
God, do you have any time for yourself in the day?
I do surprisingly make time for myself. It's something that people, especially on my Discord, are like, oh my God, do you ever rest? And I'm like, I do. I really do. It's probably how I don't burn out and can do as much as I do because I take lots of breaks. People just don't see it
Sure.
or hear it. But yeah, writing wise, I don't get to freely creatively write as much as I used to, but I do have an ongoing fanfic that I write with one of my friends that I've been friends with in the audio sphere for a really long time, and we go back and forth at least once a month, and it's huge, it's long, not anything we could ever make money off of because obviously fanfic, usually the characters belong to someone else, but it's just for fun. I used to write scripts quite a bit. You can still read them. I think there's like a link to them on my website. I don't really post them much anymore. Just because I don't spend as much time on Reddit anymore where I started audio. But that was something that I really enjoyed because it's a nice way to write erotica quickly because you're not having to detail everything. It's just a one-sided conversation. It makes things easier. But yeah, I love writing. It's one of the first things I ever found that I was good at. I won a bunch of awards a long time ago, like in high school and stuff. But so I know I'm a good writer, and it is something like one day in the future, once I've retired, I would love to write my own erotica and just like self-publish. That's the dream one day.
Well, let me ask, is there any desire then to write out, or do you ever write like scenes? Do you do dialogue in any of the stuff you may shoot or you enjoy collaborating on or anything like that? Have you ever tried to sneak dialogue in somewhere with a collaboration? Like, hey, you think maybe they should talk a little first or right to the fucking... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So funny enough, 99% of the things that I do audio-wise are improvised. I find it much easier to just sit and get in front of my microphone and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. Cool. I'm going to yap. I used to write everything for myself or get free scripts or whatever. I have lots of friends that they pump out like 10 audios a month and they write scripts for every single one. I could never. My ADHD would never allow it. So I improvise pretty much everything. When it comes to collabs, I will usually commission really, really talented script writers from our kind of sphere to write it. I commission a few scripts every month just to give my brain a break. But yeah, there are a couple times every year where I get like a little bug that I want to write something for myself. So I do. But for the most part, it's all improvised, which I know people are always like, wow, that's crazy. But it's the way that I do it, and it's easier for me.
It's definitely a little bit crazy, only because I feel like I would stumble kind of halfway through and be like, oh shit, well, what are they going to do now? Shirts off and okay, all right. How about videos? Let's enter that world. When did you decide? And again, according to this post, you've been doing in real life content for 5 years.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware, so I apologize for that.
No, that's totally okay. And I mean by that, I started my OnlyFans pretty shortly after starting my audio thing. So I started audio in like August of 2019, and then I started doing OnlyFans in July of 2020. And it was just like, well, we're in lockdown and I already am like doing audio, so this would be fun. I never got to have an OnlyFans when they first started. So yeah, let's do it. So that's when I started doing it, and I did like solo stuff for a really long time. Just my own things. I would do a lot of videos that would be like POV. So kind of like my audio. And then it was just in March of last year that my friend and I, she's also in the audio community. Her name is Looking for My Blue Sky. We decided, why don't we just get together and make a video? I don't think anybody from our little neck of the woods has done that yet. So we did. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of fun. So I'd say at the beginning of this year, I went to XBiz for the first time, met a lot of people, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to start doing it. So it's been May of this year that I've started doing like IRL stuff with partners. So like boy-girl scenes, boy, girl, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've been doing like my own like solo stuff for 5 years.
So the first time though that you're deciding you're going to put your face out there and maybe you're not wearing any clothes with it, was it anxiety or excitement? Was it a mix of both? Was it more of one than the other? Like, I think I would be elated that I'm going to do something big. And then as soon as I hit submit, I would go, oh, fuck, everyone's seen me now.
So for me, I'm a bit of an exhibitionist, and so I had no qualms, but I was excited to do it. I think that probably is from being a dancer. If I had never done that before and I had just done this, it would have been a mix of both for sure. But I think it was like, I've taken my clothes off for hundreds of people before, so whatever.
Sure. Okay, all right, we did the audio, we did literature. Let's do the OnlyFans even more. Let's dive into that a little bit. You have a ton of stuff on there. Sometimes I'll click on like an established performers thing and I'll see like 400 things and there's a mix of, a couple videos and this and that. You have thousands and thousands of pieces of content on there. Do you work on a regular update schedule? Is it something you break down? Is it, oh, I look hot today, snap, send it out? What is like if I'm signing up at Snaky Smut, what am I going to get out of this? That sounds really aggressive and angry.
No, I totally, that makes sense. I don't, that's fine. Sure. So basically for filming for me, even when I was doing it like just myself, like not doing like photo shoots and having pictures, I basically would block off like a day a week and just film different stuff, change outfits. As I tell people, it's the best way to do it. And then that way you have like 4 weeks of content if you really like space it out, or even if you post every day, if you take enough pictures, you have tons of stuff. For videos and stuff, I definitely would pick the day that I'm feeling, okay, I'm feeling it today, let's do it. I don't ever do anything if I'm not feeling it because I feel like it'll suck. Sure. I can tell that it's bad. I feel like other people could. So that's pretty much what I still do now. These days I do work with some photographers and just do like solo content. So now it's a little bit easier to be like, okay, I have this, and this, and then I can do 1 or 2 days a month where I'm like changing outfits and doing my own stuff. But that's how I built it up. So there's that much content. It's just I have days and I'm like, I'm feeling creative today. I'm going to go throw on makeup and do this. But that's the only way I've done that.
So I see you've shot a scene as I'm scrolling back, not very far. It's your pinned one. Shot a scene with Flesh Mechanic, right?
That's right.
Okay. I have never met this gentleman, but as I'm watching this trailer, are you okay? This seems like an intense shoot. And how does a shoot like that, is this outside of your personality and your comfort zone? Is this a pushing your limits, or is this like right in your comfort zone and we all didn't realize it?
That's really in my comfort zone. And anybody that has listened to my audios for short time or long time will know I can go from being very like vanilla and bubbly and sweet to like pretty hardcore like that. Use me, whatever. I'm just here. To being kind of dommy. I run the spectrum. For that in particular, I know it looks really intense. If a Flesh Mechanic is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and that's usually how it is. I tell people all the time. I do taboo content, and we're all just regular people. We're not scary monsters like lurking in the shadows. For that scene in particular, because I did have a couple people be like, whoa, there is like an extensive talk beforehand. We record it. It's all very, very consensual. Actually, before we shot, he was like, okay, do you want to do something like more chill today, or are you feeling more of like the rough vibe? And I literally said, do you bleep stuff on here?
Oh, you say whatever you want.
Okay. I literally was like, I would love to do something rough. I'm here to have fun. Fuck me up. And he was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
So it is very much keeping on brand with me. I have some kinks that even like people that listen to me all the time are like, I love your stuff, but I can't even do that. Like,
Can I ask for one of those?
sure.
One that people wouldn't expect from you.
Oh, okay. One they wouldn't expect.
No, sorry, I threw a curveball at the end there. You can just tell me one you like. That's perfectly fine.
No, that's okay. So something that was in that people do have a lot of problem with is face slapping. A lot of people have a big issue with that, and I totally get it. But what I try and tell people is like, the person in this scene who's doing the slapping has probably extensively trained and they know exactly where to do it. And it looks a lot worse than it actually is. It's really just the sound.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's one that people are always like, like they don't know.
You know what people sometimes have a problem differentiating in this industry? And again, preferences. My theory has always been is that as long as there's no kids or dogs in a room, I don't give a shit what consenting adults do.
We're on the same page.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
May not be my thing. I might not be into it, but at the same, I might think it's fucking weird, but I'm not going to throw it at you and be like, you're bad.
Yeah, I'm not going to kink shame you. You do you. Yeah.
You do you. Okay. I think people might feel that way because there are some performers who, again, not shaming them or anything, and I won't even call them out by name, enjoy the stuff that crosses from rough into violent.
Yeah.
Would you say you stop at rough or okay?
Yeah, I think I toe the line maybe just a little bit, but I definitely have not ventured over that, which I have no problem with people that do. But yeah, there are some people that are into like closed fist hitting. I have never done that. It's fun to watch, but yeah, I don't cross that line. There are certain ones that I'm like, I'm not sure.
Sure. Do you have any desire in the future to shoot for any of the big mainstream name sites? And I apologize. I tried to look up your past scenes on here, and
no, that's totally okay.
Let's do a thing real quick. I like to call Stat Check. So Stat Check, we use the Internet Adult Film Database. Okay. That doesn't include any of these scenes you shot over here or these people you worked with. It is dog shit numbers that make no sense to anyone and they're not real. But they're a good marker because then when I have you on a year from now and you're like, well, now I'm a billionaire and I have all these AVN
Fingers
awards.
Crossed, right?
We can go, hey, Victoria, remember back when you had shot in 9 scenes on record I have here. Males you've worked with, 6. Females you've worked with, 3. No AVN nominations and no wins yet, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, folks, we're back. We took a dog break real quick. I'm a cat person, so I
love cats too. Totally understand.
Cats are fine. You also, as I'm scrolling through your Twitter, which I'll probably be doing just the rest of the night, your pictures, your makeup is top notch, let me say that.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
That might be the single gayest thing I'll say, and my wife, she'll back me up on it. Your makeup, beautiful, love it.
Thank you.
Can I ask, how would you define your style?
Yeah, that's a great question. I usually tell people my style is like goth bimbo. I'm very goth, but I also love wearing pink and like fluffy stuff. So yeah, I'm very like glam goth, bimbo vibes.
Yeah, see, I grew early 2000s. I would have said goth. I would have said punk. Like that was when I was like 14,
hell yeah,
15,
yes.
Right? I loved it.
We all started somewhere. I started as a scene kid on MySpace, so it's the evolution.
Sure, there you go. It's the great. Yeah, that's exactly it. Do you want to shoot for the mainstream guys, the big name sites? Like, do you have a desire for that? Because
definitely,
you're so successful on your own, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, I would love to. It's on my bucket list of things to do. I'm working on it. Fingers crossed. Because yeah, it would be really fun. That's, those are the places that I started watching, like real adult content. Like when I came of age, I had subscriptions to places as soon as I was able to. So yeah, I would love to. It's definitely it's high up on my to-do list, but I also love just doing, collabs or people that do their own independent websites. Those are really, really fun. But yeah, I would love to shoot with some of the studios for sure.
Just don't say .com at the end, but is there one site that you specifically have your eye on at all? I understand they're all wonderful. They're all great. And love anyone with a job opportunity. Yes, everyone with a job opportunity is phenomenal. And we appreciate every one of them. But is there one where you go, Victoria Malfoy should be a blank girl?
I would love to shoot with Team Skeet for sure.
Okay. All right. We did a special for them, me and my old co-host, with Kay Lovely one time.
And very cool.
They are phenomenal to deal with. I've never heard bad stuff. I'm sure there are stories probably somewhere someone has something bad. They also
do really cool scenarios and tropes that I'll be like, I never thought of that. Like, that's so fun.
So that's my question to you. What do you think of the current niches and trends and everything else in porn? If you keep up on that, you seem like you keep up on everything.
Yeah,
so
I feel like I will say, I feel like if you're going to do this and be serious about it, you have to keep up with that stuff. You definitely do. Even when I started doing audio, those change. So like when I first started, monster girls were really popular. Not so much anymore. During lockdown, it was family relations were really popular. That's always going to be one that is, because taboo stuff is always, people love that. It's we shouldn't be doing this. But yeah, I think it's really cool to see that amateur stuff is getting more popular. I see that like bump up every year on the hub, like when they release the thing at the end of the year. I love that MILFs get so much attention. It's always one of those things that, like, I was a teenager in the early 2000s, and they very much, I'm sure you remember this, made it seem like after you're 25, no one wants you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that might be more of a female thing. So
it is definitely, but it was pushed on us so hard. Like, after you're 30, it's over. And I think like getting older and seeing like, no, it's really not. And it again, like you said, it's more of a they push that on like teenage girls. It's more of like a female thing. Men don't care. They love it. So I'm always super happy to see that. Those were the two that really stick out to me, because when I first started watching videos, amateur stuff was the easiest to find and consume. And I still love watching it because you can tell, like, they're really into it. They're having fun, which is the thing that I look for at the end of the day. I love that. But yeah, I'm excited every single year to see what is popular, because it's never anything that I think it's going to be. And I love going state by state to see what the people in that state are into.
I like doing that too, especially when they publish it at the end. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I have a trend that in my head, I was like, I'm going to stump her on this one. I'm going to ask her how she would do an erotic fantasy about this topic or niche.
Oh, I love this.
But I think I figured it out. So if you don't figure it out, I think I have an answer.
Okay.
How would you do a free use version of that?
Okay. Yeah. Free use is a very popular trope, especially in audio. I've done a lot of that.
Okay.
So one of my favorite ways to do it, and one that I think a lot of people, it's more palatable for them, is like having a partner. So for example, one of the role plays I've done is like boyfriend, girlfriend. Girlfriend has a pair of panties that she wears when it's free use weekend, and you see those and you can do it whenever you want.
Okay.
And that is like, people really like that when it's very like, oh, this isn't scary or weird or like somebody I don't know. It's easy to say, okay, if I had a girlfriend and like, or my girlfriend did this, okay, I could get on board with that. Other ways that I've done that is I've done ones where it's kind of like professor-student vibe, like teaching assistant, like you're going to give me a better grade and you can do whatever you want whenever you want to do it. And I think it's hot. Those are the ways that I've done it. I've seen it done a million different ways from all types of other performers. But yeah, that's one of those. I really like it. And I had no idea that was a thing until I started doing audio. I
see. And at first, when I saw free use stuff, I was like, how do I feel about this? Because to me, there are a lot of different ways to interpret it. So
of course,
you could interpret it as dominant male coming to take what he wants and walk on and whatever. You could also take it in the way I took it, dominant female who I don't even I'm not even worried about this guy. I'm fucking paying bills right now. Okay. He's throwing it in me. I'm not even going to pay attention, whatever. I think that was my thing where I was like, oh, there's a lot less anxiety on performance if she doesn't know I exist. Done. How do you interpret free use? Is it a give and take depends? Like, or do you like the idea of a guy taking kind of?
Yeah, I just like the idea that it's this scenario where either or party has this, like, for me, especially if I'm in more of like the submissive part, it's like, this is fun. Like, I'm in control. You can do whatever you want, but I'm letting you do it. I'm giving you this to you to let you have fun. So I love that aspect of it. I also like the one of it's like, kind of like you said, dominant male, like, oh, I'm going to take this, whatever. I like free use too, because it goes up to the line of kind of like non-con or CNC without having to go over it, because it's usually discussed. Or another way that I've done it or seen it done where it's like, it's world building. So there's world building where it's like, it's a free use world. People are just, this is how everybody lives. Everybody's used to it. And I love that one, because then you can basically start any scenario you want. And it makes sense because, oh, everybody does this.
That's interesting. I never considered the free use atmosphere, the whole environment type thing.
It's so cool. Yeah.
So let's wrap this up with a few questions here. Where are we going? Where do you see your career moving forward? You said you're very interested in moving into more mainstream stuff, even though you're very successful in your own right. Do you see yourself hitting a dollar goal and going, I'm done? Do you see yourself one day at 40 going, I just don't feel like doing this anymore? Or do you see yourself making gilf porn? I interviewed Dee Dee White, formerly Seika Black.
My gosh.
She's 71. She still
Icon.
has what she refers to as BBC gangbangs. That's what she calls it. And I am blown away at this woman's desire and ability to keep working.
Yeah, right? I'm so impressed by that. And that is kind of where I'm at. I have no like age or number that I think I'll stop at. I think one day it'll just be one of those things where I'm like, this isn't really doing it for me anymore. But what I love about this job is like, that doesn't even matter, because everything that I've made, I can leave it up and people can enjoy it forever. That's one of the reasons why I've liked making so much content, is I'm like, I honestly could, go away for a year or whatever, and people still have tons of stuff to enjoy or go through or whatever. So I don't have a specific age that I'll stop. I could be one. Honestly, it would be cool to be 70 and still being able to like do this. I would love that. My like immediate goals are, I would love to do stuff like that's more mainstream. I tell people all the time, audio is always going to be my number one, just because I have built such a loyal, I hate calling them I like calling them like listeners or whatever. Sure. I've built such a following and a listening like fan base of people that enjoy it, that I would never stop. It's one of the reasons I made my website, so that people could like easily search for things and find it. So yeah, I really would just love to take that further. I would love to make it more known to people. It's one of the reasons I started putting audios on like the hub. And there are so many other people doing that. And I think it's awesome, because other people get to see, oh, there's another type of media that I can enjoy if I can't do visual stuff. So yeah, I only want to go up. It's like I've world domination. That's what I tell people. I'm joking, but just a little.
So do you have any concerns about AI? Because you already have your established fan base, right? But let's just say I can get a voice generator and a chat GPT that does dirty talk and whatever. Could I create, again, you are good, I believe, because you've already established your fan base. They know what they're getting from you. They have a personal connection with you, which makes it different. But do you think someone could go out there and kind of throw on some AI slop and still be successful?
In my opinion, no. I think AI is garbage. I think AI is great for certain things, like building things, whatever. And for artists, I think it's garbage. I've had I've had my voice stolen once for something. I had it taken down. I don't like it. I think especially for audio, it's never going to be good. Yeah, you can make it say whatever you want it to say, but it has no personality, no feeling, no emotion behind it. It's a computer. And you know, if people enjoy that, whatever, I'm not going to knock it, but it's never going to be as good, in my opinion. I don't think it will. I also think it's lazy. If you're a creator and you're like, oh, I don't like my voice, then don't do it.
Sure.
Then don't do it.
Yeah.
I also think the same thing about pictures. I see AI like OnlyFans stuff, and I'm just like, this is so. Either take the picture yourself or don't. The way around that, like if you know, you want to do visual stuff, but you don't want people to know who you are, I highly implore people to do like a VTube model.
Okay.
And there are people that do, it's called lewd tubing.
Okay.
And people do that, and you can make it naked. You can do whatever. There are certain ways. Oh my gosh.
I'll be honest with you.
So
I
sorry.
couldn't even hear it. No, you're good.
You can't hear it?
I think it's isolated. Yeah. So if it's bothering you, definitely.
Oh,
but if
then
not, you're good.
If you can't hear it, I will talk through it. Okay. So in regards to like pictures and stuff like that, I also think that's garbage. I don't think that it's ever going to give people the same kind of connection that you're going to get from a human who's making something, drawing something, recording something. It's never going to be the same. So I worry. I know that someone could technically take my voice, take my picture. I've had it happen with my voice. I've had it happen with the art that I commissioned with my character. It happens. It looks, in my opinion, like shit, sounds like shit. So I'm not worried about it, but I know it is a thing. And it is something that a lot of us, especially in audio, worried about. Like, what if someone gets this and it actually sounds close and makes me say something crazy?
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that it doesn't get that way anytime soon and that people use AI for different things. But yeah, it is a worry. Definitely worry about it. It's one of the reasons I got lawyers.
Last question. This is an odd one, only because you would think people that are in this industry would have the common answer. Mm-hmm. And instead, I get a different common answer. So this is, again, no judgment. It's just strictly a question, like a whatever, something, how you feel. Mm-hmm. What age should it... What age should women be to be able to get into this industry? And we'll run through it at the end, but you tell me, what do you think? And if you have a thought process on that.
Yeah, so I have a couple different thought processes. In one side of my brain, I think 21 and up is probably smartest. However, I do know that when I was like younger and didn't have a means to make money right away, like I talked about at the beginning of this, that I was 19 when I started. So I was able to pay my bills and do whatever. And I know for a lot of people, dancing, things like that, making an OnlyFans, it is out of necessity. They need to do it. It isn't like they like doing it, I'm sure, but like it is to pay the bills. So for that, I always stick with 18 because I know I've been there. I've had friends that have been there, and it's a way to get yourself out of the hole sometimes. That is like the most common thing. It's the performer telling me 21 and then not that you did, but struggling to realize like, hey, there are other what it always comes down to is maturity, right? Oh, like totally. Yeah.
I also do a sideshow where I interview new performers coming into the industry, and horror story I heard. 18-year-old girl, and it's not graphic, so it's just
right.
Like, I'm not gonna hit you with something horrendous here.
Oh, but, no, I didn't think so.
flew across the country on her own dime because she would be reimbursed. Got to the hotel where she'd be reimbursed. 18-year-old girl, guy just never picked up the phone after that, never answered again. And you go, well, look, I know 30-year-olds who could fall for that too. So
of course, it's happened to people in their 20s and their 30s, 40s. It happens to people all the time. You have people ghost you, flake on you, whatever. Yeah, it happens all the time. It's not because they're 18.
we came to kind of a consensus, and I'm not asking you to join in with this consensus. Just, where every time I ask this, maybe 21 for hardcore.
Okay.
18, 19, 20, you could do solo, you could do OnlyFans. It's not meant to limit.
Stripping, that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's more just a safety concern. And again, look.
And honestly, I think, I would get on. I think that makes sense. It makes total sense because, until I was probably like 22 or 23, I don't think I would have done like IRL stuff, like with a partner, because I was like, am I going to be the way that I want to be in the scene? Has nothing to do with them. So yeah, I agree with that. It is definitely an emotional maturity thing for sure.
Sure. Let's not make it a law, but let's convey to people, hey, maybe start in this slow if you really want to make it a career.
Totally.
Right.
I agree with that for sure.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight, Victoria Malfoy. You can find her exactly where you think you can find her at Snaky Smut, SNAKEYSMUT, patreon.com/snaky.
I know it's a tongue twister.
Oh my God. It's not, my mouth is just dry. I'm tired, but I have loved talking to you. You are so insightful.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. It's been so much fun.
You're not terrible to look at, which is a very nice thing at the end of the day.
Thank you.
I think you are so fascinating in such a creative,
Thank you so much. You've made my day. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Malfoy. Victoria, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight.
Thanks so much for having me. I hope I get to come back sometime.